I have sat on a 3 days fast to sit with the women and to sit with the youth who are starting today and tomorrow. So that has been gaining steam all over the nation, and people are discussing about environment and how we should not put this at stake when we talk of development. We must keep health of the environment, health of our future generations in our minds, and not be just carried away by gains in this generation alone, and that too for few rich people in this generation, and put at risk all future generations and the nature that as a ecosystem that helps us. It gives us eco services that makes life possible on this planet. So thank you all for being a part of that. Now, tomorrow, 7th of April, was the Pashmina March based on Gandhiji's Dandi Salt March. And the idea was to highlight the situation in Changthang Plateau, where there are large pastures of our nomadic herders, sheep and goat herders, yak herders, who live there on the vast plains of Changthang, and how they are losing their land, their pasture land, in large quantities, both from incursion by China and from corporates from the mainland, who are trying to capture large tracts of pasture land for building big plants, energy plants, and so on. But these nomadic herders who have lived there for thousands of years are just being pushed aside, partly by our own corporate houses and partly by the Chinese, who are slice by slice, as they call salami slicing. They are moving in, and in the recent years, huge chunks, according to Subramaniam Swamiji, 4,056 square kilometers, which is like a big state, is being lost. So we wanted to highlight this, and we knew that the government will not allow us to go all the way to the borders because they have a lot of things to hide. And if they don't, if they are transparent, if they are true, that nothing has been taken away, then they would let us go all the way to the pastures where our nomads used to go 5 years ago. And that would be very good news. But we knew there was a lot to hide, and therefore we'll be stopped at some point, and we wanted to see where they stop, which will help the nation know that our grasslands, our pasture lands are lost. It's pasture lands for the nomads, but it is also, our national territory for whole of India. So that is being lost, and leaders are just saying nothing has happened, nobody has come, nobody is gone, not an inch is lost, which is sad, because when the leaders say this, our army becomes, the leaders just say nothing has happened. So their hands are tied, and which is very unfortunate, because our army is very well capable of, replying and getting the land back. But our leaders are, for their own designs maybe, or some ego of some strange kind, they have decided to say nothing has happened. But for these nomads, for these herders, they know how much of their land is gone, which means that they'll not have grass for their goats and yaks. So they will be forced finally to sell their goats and become menial laborers in the cities, become like slaves, coolies in the cities, from their beautiful life with vast pasture lands and hundreds and thousands of goats producing the finest fiber in the world, pashmina. So their plight nobody cares, and they just cover up what they lost and what they could have brought back, but by saying nothing has happened, it has been a most unjust, unfair thing to these nomadic people. So we wanted to highlight, and we had said that where they stop us will tell us how much they have to hide. Now it has become clear that they have much more to hide than we thought, because even before this march started, they started overreacting like almost a war has taken place. So right now Leh has become like a war zone with barricades, armed riot police in all their gears, with smoke grenades and tear gas and all kinds of armaments. So people are being stopped from coming all the directions to Leh city so that they should not join this march. So their philosophy seems to be to stop this march at all costs. All costs means even if people are, killed or violence breaks out, whatever happens, their main purpose seems to be to stop this march. On the other hand, they declared Section 144 yesterday, which restricts movement and gathering of people, which is normally done in very serious situations where there is chances of violence. But we have been sitting for 32 days without even raising our voice, not to speak of stones or lathis or anything. And to use these stringent measures on peaceful fasting people or marching people is totally an overreaction. Hmm? And then it was followed by even more drastic actions like curtailing internet services in Leh, which was done only during like Kashmir issue in Srinagar, you would know. And this is extreme measure. This also disturbs economy. Ladakh depends on tourism, students on for their education. So internet blackout was the plan. And then, of course, young leaders here were being arrested to make them sign bonds saying they'll not participate in any marches or speak in public fora. So our youth were refusing to sign those bonds. All these measures were themselves becoming a reason for destabilization and perhaps violence. So their initiatives to keep peace was the most dangerous thing happening here. And it seemed to us that for the administration, for the government, nothing mattered, not lives, not peace. Only thing that mattered was to cover up the pasture lands so that nobody goes there and shows the reality. Only thing that perhaps mattered to them was the corporates who will be taking away these huge chunks of land from the herders. So they were only about protecting those land captures and protecting this reality of how much land has gone in incursion. So seeing this kind of very unpredictable, uncertain behavior of the government, our leaders here met and said that these, can we stop the noise behind, please? Some some mics are on. Yeah. So seeing these protests, leaders decided that if not the government and the administration, then the citizens will have to think of maintaining peace in this very sensitive border region, which directly affects India's border security also. And therefore, the leaders this afternoon got together and said that our purpose was to highlight the condition of our nomads to the nation, and that has already happened because of these overreactions and Section 144 internet curtailment. It's all over the news about how Ladakh is being blacked out and being, made into a war zone. So the purpose was to highlight and raise awareness. That has already happened. The purpose was not to inflammate or destabilize the peace of the region. And therefore they said that since our purpose has been fulfilled even before the march began, we would rather recall or withdraw this march. If the government is so keen to stop it that they wouldn't even care about the lives of the people, then we will have to think of the lives. So just about 2 hours ago, the leaders did a press conference to uh, call off the Pashmina March tomorrow, which we think is a very good decision because there was every chance of violence in this. With barricades all around, people were being stopped from coming to Leh, and there could be any incidents at these barricades, armed barricades, where there could be squabbles which could run into violence. Or there were also chances, as the leaders said, that the administration orchestrates some violent activities and then blames it on the people here and the movement for being violent and anti-national, so as not to give a chance to um, such designs to seed violence and then label them anti-national. The leaders said we would rather not do the march now since the purpose has already been met, and therefore appeal to the leaders here to lift the section 144, lift all the scary, dangerous, barricades on all the roads leading to the city, and lift this spree of, grabbing these young leaders and forcing them to sign bonds or face arrest and so on. This is very dangerous because some of these youth could turn violent, and then the whole movement will be suppressed for being violent and perhaps anti-national. So that's what has happened, and I wanted to share. But the peaceful fast will continue, and tomorrow being Sunday, even larger scale. And we hope that people around the country who are actually planning to come to Leh, many have come, and many are planning to. So we are advising, please not to come in these circumstances, and please share and raise your voices and support from your own cities, wherever you are. We are saying Ravivar or Sunday. Sundays for the nation. So we could make a Rashtra ke naam Ravivar, where people can voice their anguish and anger about this kind of dealing with the people living in these border areas who are defending the country in all times and especially in all wars. When they need the support of the government, they get these armed policemen and Section 144 and curbing of internet and all that. When the nation needs their support, they're always there in every war, in the war zones, in the battlefields, supporting our forces. So this is the appeal we want to make to all the people. Use Sundays to raise awareness about how our country is being managed, to raise awareness about how we can use our vote to make the government change their ways or to change the government. Preferably make the people to change their ways. So with this, I want to thank you all for your support and all the marches that you have been doing. It becomes a great source of energy for the people here to hold on till a good result comes and till the government is made to listen to our very genuine, very just demands of just fulfilling the promises they have made. We are not asking anything special, the stars or the moon. We are just saying you have made promises. You must keep these promises to keep honesty and transparency alive. It starts with the leaders. Otherwise, this nation will become a characterless nation of dishonest people who do not honor promises and nobody in the world will believe or trust us, leave aside becoming a Vishwa Guru. I am sure that will not happen, and we, the citizens, will make sure that it doesn't happen. Thank you very much. Jai Hind. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Pranam.